Okay, the second thing that we did is optimistic block proposals, or optimistic block processing. So this is actually a lot simpler for concept. What happens right now with Tendermint is that as a block proposer, I'll send a block to Dan, then Dan will run some sanity checks on it, and then he'll just hold on to the block, and then he'll vote on the block through pre-vote and pre-commit, and then he'll actually start processing the block. So what this means is he's actually holding on to the block, but not doing anything with it during the length of pre-vote and pre-commit, which is bad, right? And it kind of makes sense because you don't know if the block is actually going to get accepted or not. If you're thinking there's going to be very adverse Byzantine nodes in the network, then it's better to not do anything. But what we've noticed is that most of the time, the first block is the one that ends up getting processed. Like the first block is the one that everyone votes on, and then it ends up getting processed anyway. So because of that, we realized it makes more sense to be optimistic. So what optimistic block processing is we will take the first block at any given height, and as soon as the validator receives it and runs sanity checks on it, they will then start processing the block in parallel with pre-vote and pre-commit. So if you look at the diagram, pre-vote, pre-commit are happening, and at the same time, we're doing block processing. So through this, we're able to have the block get processed faster, we're able to update state faster, and the overall latency goes down. So this is the happy path, right? What happens if there's a Byzantine node or validator makes a mistake and then you're not able to optimistically process? So what's actually happening under the hood is that we are taking whatever the proposal is, we're updating a candidate state. If it's successful, then we'll commit that state. If it's unsuccessful, then we'll discard that state. And then we'll move on to the next round, and then from the next round onwards for any given height, we'll just be processing it the normal way where it gets processed after pre-commit. So through this, we observed nearly a 33% improvement in throughput as well, which is massive for Sei. So overall, through Twin Turbo consensus, we've been able to get up to 22,000 orders per second that we're processing, largely using core Tendermint. And we're also able to get around 450 millisecond block times.